Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A happy Saturday to you all. Hopefully, you are enjoying your weekends. Of course, it is Saturday. Once again, we have our weekly roundup of OSTs to check out. Welcome to OST Saturday, episode 37. Wow, it's been 37 whole weeks of OSTs. I've only missed 1 week out of 37, which I'd like to give myself a pat on the back for. But that's besides the point. We have got, I believe, six songs to check out today. Coming courtesy of Mr. Youngkei, who we've had solo release a little while ago. I also still need to listen to that album. Gotten comments about that, so thank you for that. A little SM Classics piece one time with Yim Siwan, Ozia, and Winter from aespa. Mr. Hyungwon of Monster X. Mr. Taeil, my boy Taeil. Hopefully you're feeling better, my guy. Miss Karina from aespa, so we got a little aespa double header today. And finishing up with Miss Solar from Mamamoo. So, if you've never been around for one of these OST Saturdays before, timeline below is going to be chaptered based off of whatever song we're listening to. If you want to skip ahead to a certain song or a certain artist song of your choice, you are more than free to do so. If you're in it for the long haul like me, welcome aboard. Let's get started. DJ, roll the intro. Now, I have my list on my phone, so if you see me reference this, I've got the list. So we're going to start with Mr. Youngkei from Day 6 with the song With You for the webtoon. No Office Romance. We haven't had a webtoon song in a hot minute, so this will be good fun indeed. I think, what was the last webtoon song we had? The new OST from Enhypen's Dark Moon webtoon? This will be great. It's kind of an interesting concept for me seeing people do, or artists do, OSTs for webtoons, because for me, like, webtoon is actual like a red visual art style, right? So I don't associate music with a form of red media. I think that's an interesting thing. I mean, it's not entirely related, but I just think that's an interesting thing. It's like, I don't know if there's a really good like example or analogy for that, but you know what I mean? Like, it's an art form, or it's a form of media where you like take in the information with your eyes, like you read the words on paper, and yet there's music accompanying it. I think that's interesting. But it's Youngkei. I reckon this is gonna be a good time. So here we go. I like the multi-flavor guitar we're getting here. Like in that intro, we had that really gentle electric guitar and the fingerstyle acoustic guitar. We're back to the acoustic guitar only. We're getting acoustic strums now. Oh. We've got all three guitar flavors now. Oh, and having the kind of naked piano transition into back to the... Nice. There's also certain moments where Youngkei sounds like Hyunsang to me. Like, there's certain words in certain ranges So gentle. Oh, even with the background vocals. The song has this ability of growing and like having the flourishes without adding any power behind it. It's so soft and gentle, even with all the instruments. Oh, that slowdown for the two measures, very cool. Is this the first time we've had bass all song? Let it twinkle away. Let it twinkle away. Okay, genuinely, was that bass always there, or did it just kind of appear in that final chorus? Because if it was there, it was very subtle, and it just kind of finally grew at the end. But oh, oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Oh, I really do need to get into Younghae's music, don't I? Or like at least day 6 like properly. Oh, his voice is so pretty. I genuinely can't get that Hyunsang like comparison out of my head though. Like there's certain parts in the song where Younghae sounds so similar to Hyunsang. Admittedly, Younghae doesn't sing like he's been through 10 divorces, but you get what I mean? Like there's something about his vocal color at certain ranges that's so similar, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's a common thing or if it's my brain kind of twitching out about it, but apart from that, I mean that's entirely unrelated to the music, but the song itself is super pretty. I'm genuinely amazed at how gentle it sounds no matter how much it grows. Because when you get a song like this where it's got multiple layers of guitars, multiple flavors of guitars, and you kind of throw them all at once, it's really easy to become overwhelmed with the amount of guitar and the amount of music you get. So to have a song that's got 3 different flavors of guitar, really pretty Younghae vocals, but not very powerful Younghae vocals, and not once did I feel like I was getting overwhelmed with music. That's really interesting, and that's super well balanced. Okay, Younghae, I'm on board. All right, let's head over to the world of SM Classics one time. Y'all know, if you know, y'all know how much I love an SM Classics song. So this, even though it was on my release calendar, technically considered an SM Classics project single, this is in use for a specific event. That's why it's been moved to OST Saturday. So this is Yim Siwan of Zia with Winter of aespa, Miss Minjong from aespa, with the song Win For You. Now this is for the ITTF World Team Table Tennis Championship Finals, Busan 2024. So it's the kind of anthem song for a major sporting event final. Those are always very exciting. That's got that kind of go get 'em tiger kind of attitude usually. So that attitude, SM Classics, Siwan and Winter, this could be fun. Let's take it out. Take it out, check it out. Here we go. Non sequitur. I was very bad at table tennis. Never got the hang of it. Incorporate the ping pong ball bounce into the song. Into the drumline part. Fade it out. Long crescendo. Oh, slightly ominous start. They're they're keeping the drum line or the snare. Oh, Winter's breathy voice. It's doing double duty. It's giving like the melodic part, but it's giving the textural part as well. Oh, here's the montage vibe now. The training montage vibe. Oh, non-straightforward chord to finish the chorus. Interesting. I love how dramatic the low end of the song is. It's like the bass, the left-hand piano, the low brass, they're allowed to go heavy. And then they cut the bottom end for this pre-chorus. Oh, get pretty with that one-time string section. Oh, they extended that phrase, the extra 4 bars. Oh. Oh, ending with a drop. Oh, no, never mind. Timpani. Ooh. They didn't go with the Beethoven route where the final note just never comes. Oh. I love SM Classics, man. They do such a good job with their projects. And the thing is, like, the kind of like athletic event underdog going through a slump finds just this like random, we'll call it like a shaman or like a random master of the sport, goes through a really just strange training regimen, makes it to the finale and wins, is very much a story plotline that's been used in quite a few sports films or like athletic films. So like the plot of the story is very much fitting for a sporting event. It's everyone loves a comeback story, everyone loves an underdog victory. But then to take that story and, you know, visually, the MV, I think, is very well shot. It's like a short film, much taking that idea of the weird training regimens, you know, hitting the table tennis ball against a target on a moving car, or hitting the ball attached to a fishing line, practicing while standing on like a towel soaked in water with a frying pan. Very unorthodox training methods, sure. but it's accompanied with a song that has so much dramaticness to it. It's got big loud chords, it's got big timpani hits, but at the same time, it's got the ability to go super smooth and super twinkly, and that's kind of the magic of classical music in a way. Is there's something about the way where, because every single sound has to be produced from a physical instrument, the human body is in control of volume control and like dynamics. If we're talking music terms, going from like pianissimo to fortissimo is a big wide range. And ultimately, yes, you can do a little bit of tweaking in software like post-recording, but 95% of the work is being done by the human playing the instrument, right? So when you have a collection of 50, 60 musicians who are all on the same wavelength, doing those dynamic changes together, you really feel the power of it. And what SM do with SM Classics is like they bring that, kind of like what the crossover genre does vocally, SM Classics does it instrumentally. They bring that classic sound into the pop world, and I love it. I am a violin player of 11 years. Admittedly, I haven't played in the last like 4, but I have a soft spot for classical music like this because I relate to it. That's why I like symphonic pop so much. If you've ever heard me waffle about that, you know exactly my views on it. But this is great. This is great. Siwan and Winter's voices actually work really well together as well. Siwan's got a very nice, steady vocal. Winter is kind of then given the freedom to go kind of anywhere she wants in terms of her vocal color. She goes really breathy in certain parts, almost like a whisper. Gets her nice full power voice in certain places. But at the end of the day, they offset each other so well. And on top of that dramatic instrumental, paired with the dramatic story in visual form, perfect. Perfect. It's perfect for a sporting event theme song, I think. And also, I believe if we skip forward a little bit, shout out my instrumental peeps on the credits list here. And shout out the film production team as well. But that's spectacular. Okay. We'll move on because we don't have a whole lot of time today. So this is song number 3, Mr. Hyungwon from the show ceo-dol. Now, I think we had a Schumann version of a song from this show in the last couple weeks or so. Still don't know exactly what this show is. Again, it may be one of those shows just because I know some of the cast members that I end up just like, like a My Drama list kind of thing just gets added to the queue. But this is Now by Mr. Hyungwon of Monsta X for the show ceo-dol. So, here we go. Fortunately, this is the only one that I couldn't find some form of visual for, so you have to bear with me on this one. 사장돌맛. Okay. I like how the bass isn't imposing, but it's really holding down the bottom end of the song. Like it's providing a nice background rumble. The little falsetto flips. Nice natural transition into the second verse. Yeah, this song just flows so naturally. Everything sounds exactly how it's supposed to. And that melody sequence is really pretty too. Smart, smart. Oh. Oh, get tasty with that final note of the bridge. Okay. And hide a key change in there one time too? Jeez. Oh, we get it again. Okay, I'm okay with that. And a proper outro too. All right. Hyungwon and Buttery Smooth with it one time. This, again, very balanced song. The kind of songs we're getting this week, very well balanced. It's now is one of those songs where it's very mid-heavy, but it doesn't need to have a lot of treble and bass in it. I think, in fact, if it had a lot of treble and bass in it, I think it'd take away from the charm of this song. The fact that it is very mid-heavy just makes it feel so comfortable. It's a very kind of inviting song for me, that it's very calming, very smooth, it's not invasive at all. You can just kind of listen to it and enjoy your time, and you don't really need to be in a specific like mood to enjoy it. It's a very neutral song. Like, it's got some very tasty chords, especially in that bridge when they spice it up a little bit. The vocals, you get the nice mid-range, you get the nice little head voice flips, and then na na in the chorus. And you get a nice kind of gentle side of Hyungwon and packaged in a really nice and pretty song that's not overly bright, but it's not sappy either. Like, it's not emo hours, it's not sugar bubblegum pop. Just nice and in the middle. It's a Goldilocks type of song. Like it. I like it a lot. All right, Mr. Moon Taeil. I feel like I've been listening to a lot of your stuff recently, especially with the NCT Lab song you did with Haechan a little while ago, which was also very good. But Mr. Moon Taeil, I believe we have back-to-back from the show Song of the Bandits, because we have Taeil, and I believe we have Karina after this. So start with Mr. Moon Taeil, who I hope you are doing better, hope you are on the mend, hope you make a quick and full recovery, because motorcycle accidents are no joke. But Taeil's Bandit for the show Song of the Bandits. Thankfully, there's a Zati Farani lyric video up, so we're going to be using that one. Shout out Zati Farani one time. So here we go. Big growth, okay.
She's drying me out. Don't look behind. Keep it sharp to the end of time. Burn it down.
Whoa!
Let the flame fill up the sky. Aim it sharp.
Punchy guitar.
Make them pay their price. Races inside. Oh, I know. It's born at the age of dark. I
Woo!
deny to the hell I hurt you down. With the
Oh. Oh, it's not his pretty high tone. He's purposely putting some strain into it. Oh, but he can still get smooth with it. I like this kind of rocker voice Taeil. Kind of a vibe. And I like that he says the I won't purposely in falsetto, but then flips into his chest voice for the rest. I'll hunt you down tonight. Oh. I feel like that, rise into the full drop was more gradual this time around than in the first verse. I wonder why it feels like that. Here we are with this madness. Oh, keep it up high, okay. Yeah, rocker Taeil, I'm on board. Hello, okay. Now, admittedly, I am not very well versed in, I guess, NCT's discography. I do know that there's a full-length 127 album coming out soon, which I'm slightly nervous for, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to get around to it. But actually, speaking of NCT, SM Classics is doing Golden Age at the end of the month, aren't they? I forgot to talk about that earlier. Anyways, ADHD moment. But Taeil, I've usually known him for even on usually 127 titles and stuff like that. As glitchy and as bouncy as they may get, usually my brain with Taeil goes a super pretty vocal moments that usually gets final note of the bridge, things like that. I mean, my first really big impact moment with Taeil was his high note in Beautiful. And it's kind of a showpiece moment, his high note in 2021's Beautiful. Super pretty, super high, kind of twinkling vocals, even on an OST of his from the past, like Starlight from 2521. Super pretty, nice, charming vocal. This one, he put in some aggression into it. His voice matched the instrumental in such a Moonteo way. I don't know if that really describes it very well, but it's the exact kind of voice that I would expect him to use on a song of this nature. It's still got plenty of that pretty Moonteo vocal color that I absolutely love, but with that hint of grit in his voice, especially on the high, powerful chest voice held notes. There's just a hint of grit, and you feel it's purposely strained just a little bit to add more texture and more color to it. I think that's so cool. And I love the vocal control he's got. And, honestly, I will never get sick and tired of Taeil's voice. I don't think I ever will. Man. All right, Taeil, you got me. And then we move on to the second song from the show, Karina of aespa. Second time we've had a song from Song of the Bandits. Second time we've had an aespa member. So, very quickly realizing this is a SM heavy album listen, or OST listen this week. Anyways, Karina, Sad Waltz. Here we go. Well, so far the title's very self-explanatory. It is a song in a very slow 3. 1, 2, 3.
Don't know what to call you. I don't know how you've been till now, to where we are now. You are no strange to me. You are still warm to me. Oh, why the look on your face? Stare into space, cause of your glances. Now I feel blue.
Two things off the rip. She's singing so close to the microphone. You can hear everything about her voice, which is very cool. 2, if you didn't tell me this was Karina, I don't think I would be able to tell this was Karina.
Someday we will meet up.
This is a side of Karina I don't think I've ever heard before. Just the way she's singing this is so unlike aespa Karina. I mean, musically, it's so far from aespa, right?
I lost you in my eyes because the wind shades my eyes. You don't know what to say. You are still warm to me. Oh, why?
I like the double time guitar in the background now, pairing with the shoulder strings.
Stare into space, cause of your glances. Now I feel blue somehow. You have to live through this life. Your voice makes my heart go through. Someday we will meet again. Yeah, we'll meet again someday.
I'm just kind of gobsmacked by this. What?
Now I know.
Also, I love how intimate this song is being recorded.
Now I know you're running so.
Like, the main instruments being this acoustic guitar and Karina's voice is mic'd so close to the original source, you can hear everything.
I will wait for you endlessly.
Unreal. That's actually unreal. I'm still not convinced this is Karina. I'm still not convinced this is the same Karina that's in aespa. It's so different to anything that I've heard from her. It's... oh my goodness. First of all, the song is absolutely gorgeous. The combination of this really sad acoustic guitar paired with the string section in the background that kind of just like, it's like the musical interpretation of like tears welling up in your eyes, kind of. And then you pair that with Karina's super breathy, super quiet voice. Spine chilling. It's spine chilling. And what amazes me about this song is, I talked about how it was like very intimately recorded. What I mean is that, like, on a ballad, I've always said that the most effective way to write an emotional ballad is to pair the vocalist with one acoustic instrument that that performer is playing. The way this is recorded, it does give off that vibe. So the mic that Karina is singing into, she's singing so quietly that the gain's been turned up and she's singing really close to the microphone. Meaning you can hear like every little breath, or you can almost kind of hear her mouth movement in a way, which is it's a weird sentence to say, but you can like visually see how she's singing it. And it's the same with how the guitars we mic. The mic is so close to that sound chamber that essentially whenever you like move your fingers on the fretboard to change chords or something like that, you hear every single movement crispy clear, and it's almost like written into the song that there's that sound of your fingers moving on the strings. That's super cool. Is this song, even when the strings feel a little bit further back in the mix and it's a little bit more of like a general string sound, still doesn't overwhelm just how close and how personal this song is in a way. And let me tell you, when it comes to appropriately titled songs, this might take the cake for OSTs this year, because this is a sad song. There is not an ounce of happiness, and this is just tears. This is raw emotional tears. Oh. And then Hyungwon, the final song, Miss Solar, song Exit from The Escape of the Seven, which I believe is a new drama that is dropping. There's a 1 KMV for it, so we're going to be checking it out. When it comes to Solar and a little bit of a vocal number, this is going to be a fun time. In fact, that's the case for any Mamamoo project, regardless if it's, a duet, a full group, OT4 group, a solo, an OST of a variety of combinations. Mamamoo vocals are always going to be a great time. It's kind of a given. So this is going to be a great time vocally. Here we go.
I'm looking for an exit under darkness. 돌이킬 수 없는 시간감. Now I can see your eyes out. 감춰왔던 거짓은 커져 널 삼켜가. Is it true? Is it true what they say? Is it real? All my faith is broken. Oh, why? All the time
I figured it was going to get dark, but
I'll never lose the fight. That's better. I finally found the light. Don't wanna lose the sight. And I feel like I can
oh. It's like pulsing now. How does it do that? How does that song do that? It pulses in a way it's like an extra heartbeat the song has now.
Can't you see your cruelty? All my trust was broken.
Yeah, like this song, once it builds up intensity, it's got like a major heartbeat that kind of chugs.
All the time you go, I'll never lose the sight. That's better. I finally found the light. Don't wanna lose the sight. And I feel like I see you here.
Even when the song steps down, you still feel that tension.
Finally find the truth. Finally see the truth.
Oh, no punches for 3 and 4.
All the time you go,
Oh, that wailing guitar in the background for the final chorus. And the riser chord, the riser piano chord to finish. Okay, that's a really interesting song actually. It's very much kind of oh, it's got the dramaticism that's very much appropriate for the visuals attached to it. I think that's a given. What's really interesting is this song and the power behind it isn't driven by the vocals, it's driven by the instrumental part. And that's rare, I feel like, when it comes to a Solar piece, just based off of how powerful her vocal is. The fact that the instrumental part, especially once it gets to full intensity with the rock guitar beat, almost overshadows Solar's voice in a way, which I never thought I would ever say Solar and vocals overshadowed in the same sentence together, but here we are. It's such an interesting song for me because it's very reminiscent of like in an action fic, like a sci-fi action fic. Usually there's a final confrontation between the protagonist and the antagonist, right? It's kind of how the sci-fi action genre works in film. For me, this isn't really much of like a final battle type, but this is the type of music you would see before the final battle when the protagonist and the antagonist lock eyes and like begin that final battle sequence where there's like that dramatic flashback, the plot dump, the story, the plot twist where the antagonist and the protagonist storylines connect together. It's got that kind of intensity to it. And from that point of view, it's actually written very well. It's got heaviness from the orchestral elements, but as well as the heavy rock elements as well. And it's all the like little rises and the builds you get into the choruses and the kind of climactic moments of the song. You really feel that energy building. It's like charging your phone. You know how like modern phones have like fast like boost charging and things like that, where you plug it into like the phone brick that you get out of the box and it charges from flat to 80% in like 30 minutes. It feels like that kind of riser. It's even if the slow builds take, 8, 12, 16 measures, it feels like it's over in 2. That's how much energy it's able to like capture in the riser and then just let it release. And I think that's so cool. Ooh. Very dramatic film though. Very dramatic film. Very dark. And that's OST Saturday for this week. Very interesting roundup of songs this week. We started very nice and smooth, and then it just got heavier and heavier and heavier. It kind of worked like in sequence, which is really interesting. This might be one of those weeks where it just naturally worked out this way. It rarely ever happens. We usually get quite a bit of whiplash through these OST Saturdays, so it's nice to get a little break where it just kind of gradually goes from one type of sound to the other. Solid week. Solid. Very surprising couple of songs there at the end with Karina and Solar. Still can't get over that Karina one, man. That's nuts. But hopefully none of this got content ID'd. Again, that's a problem for later me or editing room floor me. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. But that is it from me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to make brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.